Before we even touch today's topic, I want to say this as clearly as possible. Real intimacy is not a performance, not a test, and not a trick. It's a conversation between two nervous systems that learn to feel safe together. If you remember only one line, let it be this one: safety first, ego last. I'm Susan Parker, your guide in wellness and longevity, and this message is for adults in consensual relationships who want to care better, listen better, and honor intimate health with respect. The title is provocative on purpose, but the lesson is simple. Before you offer oral attention, fix 5 common mistakes that quietly undermine confidence, circulation, comfort, and connection. Do this, and you'll protect well-being while building trust that lasts. For years, we've been told intimacy is all about moves. It isn't. What your partner will remember is how grounded you felt, how present you were, how clean and considerate you arrived, and how you adjusted to their actual body rather than a script you saw somewhere. That is the heart of intimate wellness in the real world. We are going to walk through 5 corrections you can apply today. No explicit techniques, no graphic language, just practical guidance to support circulation, reduce tension, and raise confidence for both of you. This is about midlife vitality too. When stress hormones are high, when sleep is irregular, when the day runs long, the body needs gentler on-ramps, steadier rhythms, and kinder communication. Think of what follows as your pre-flight checklist for care. The first and most damaging mistake is skipping explicit consent and calibration. Too many people assume that being in a relationship equals a blanket yes to everything. It does not. Consent is not a one-time contract. It is a living agreement that can change minute by minute. Ask with clarity and warmth. Don't mumble. Don't hint. A simple, confident check-in like, "Are you open to this kind of attention tonight?" creates safety without killing the mood. If the answer is yes, go one step further and calibrate. Anything off limits? Any preferences? If the answer is no, you honor that fully and stay connected in other ways. People often worry that asking will feel awkward. Here's the truth. Awkward is the bridge to trust. When you model respect, the body relaxes, muscles release, breath deepens, circulation improves. The whole system becomes more receptive because it knows it's not about to be pushed. That's not just nice psychology, it's physiology. A calmer nervous system allows better blood flow to all tissues, which supports intimate comfort. Consent is not a mood killer, it is a mood builder when you make it part of how you care. Avoiding that first mistake also means learning a simple language of feedback. You don't need long conversations in the middle of closeness. Short questions work. Softer or firmer? More or less? Stay or change? Short answers work too. Some couples like a color code. Green means continue, yellow means adjust, red means stop. Keep it light, not clinical. You are not conducting a seminar. You are creating a safe lane where both of you can relax. When you remove the fear of saying no, you actually create more room for yes. And when you normalize feedback, you remove the burden of mind reading that quietly erodes connection in so many homes. The second mistake is rushing the body, treating arousal like an on-off switch rather than a gentle build. Many partners leapfrog directly to the destination without giving the nervous system time to arrive. Real bodies, especially in midlife, love warm-ups. Think of arousal as a circulatory and neurological crescendo, not a sudden jump. When you offer full-body presence first, kind eyes, unhurried breath, a comfortable environment with soft light, steady warmth, and zero distractions, you signal safety. Safety lowers muscular guarding, relaxes the pelvic floor, and lets blood flow do what it naturally does. Nourish tissues and heighten pleasant sensation. Do not confuse enthusiasm with speed. Enthusiasm is about presence. Speed is often about anxiety. Replace urgency with rhythm. Replace pressure to perform with curiosity. When you create a runway, what follows feels less like effort and more like immune-level reassurance. The body reads your pace as kindness, and kindness is power here. Rushing also shows up as ignoring the rest of the person. If your version of closeness is a spotlight on one small area and total darkness everywhere else, you're missing the orchestra for a single note. People relax when the whole body is invited, not just the most sensitive zones. Shoulders, back, hands, scalp, breath, tone of voice. These are the quiet switches that tell the body, you're safe. And when the body believes that, comfort rises. If you notice tension, slow down further. Pause. Let silence do some of the heavy lifting. Intimacy is not a race to a finish line. It is a paced dialogue where the goal is not to win, but to listen. The third mistake is poor hygiene and environment, which instantly sabotages trust. Clean, trimmed nails, smooth hands, and fresh breath are not optional. They are the baseline. Warm water and mild soap before contact show respect and reduce micro-irritations. Go fragrance light or fragrance-free. Heavy scents can irritate sensitive tissue or pull partners out of the moment. Set the space. A soft towel. A glass of water nearby. Tissues within reach. Comfortable pillows for support. Temperature matters. If the room is chilly, use a throw or a gentle heat source so the body isn't trying to relax and shiver at the same time. Lighting matters. Harsh overhead light tightens. Soft lamps relax. Sound matters. A subtle playlist or quiet makes a big difference for people who carry daytime stress. Hygiene also includes boundaries about transitions. If any contact has involved the backside of the body, it's a hard stop before returning to the front. Wash thoroughly or change protection. This is non-negotiable for comfort and health. A thoughtful environment tells your partner, I prepared for you. That message does more for connection than any flashy technique ever could. Let's talk about another common way hygiene gets overlooked: dryness. Friction is not your friend. In many seasons of life, stress, certain medications, hormonal shifts, natural moisture may not match interest or affection. That's normal. Instead of treating dryness as a problem, treat it as a signal to add support. A gentle, unscented, water-based product can make the difference between irritation and ease. This is not a shortcut. It's smart prevention. Comfort is the soil where pleasure grows. Irritation is the rock where it withers. Choose the soil. The fourth mistake is copying scripts that were never written for your partner's body. Everyone is different. Sensitivity varies. What was welcome last year may be too much this year. What a past partner preferred may be irrelevant now. The worst thing you can bring into closeness is the certainty that you already know. Replace certainty with observation. Watch breath. Notice small shifts in posture. Feel for microtension versus release. Listen to real-time feedback. This is how you learn the map in front of you, not the map from memory. If you find yourself chasing novelty because you think you need to impress, bring it back to consistency and presence. Most bodies prefer steady, predictable attention over random fireworks. Consistency tells the nervous system, I can trust this. And trust allows deeper relaxation, which supports circulation and comfort far more than any dramatic flourish. Copying scripts also looks like over-relying on pressure or intensity. Many people assume more is automatically better. It isn't. More can overwhelm. Better is better. Better means right amount, right pace, right temperature, right context. People often open up when contact is lighter and slower than you expect, especially at the start. If you're unsure, ask. A short, more or less, is kinder than 5 minutes of guessing. Precision is made in partnership, not in your head alone. You don't need to narrate every thought. You only need to check in and then actually respond to the answer. The fifth mistake is turning closeness into a performance review. When you measure your worth by your partner's immediate reactions, you load the moment with pressure. Pressure constricts. It narrows attention, tightens muscles, and pulls both of you out of your bodies into anxious self-monitoring. A healthier frame is service, not scorekeeping. Your role is to notice, adapt, and care. If the body needs a pause, you pause. If the body needs something different, you pivot. If the body says no, you receive that no with grace. That is emotional strength, not failure. Remove the timelines. Remove the quotas. Allow the experience to be a flow that sometimes builds and sometimes levels off. Many people discover that when the scoreboard disappears, connection deepens, and with it, the very responses they use to chase. Performance thinking also poisons the minutes after closeness. Don't sprint away. Don't evaluate yourself out loud. Let there be quiet, warmth, and soft contact if that's welcome. Offer water. Offer a blanket. Offer your presence without trying to fix or extend anything. Later, minutes, hours, or even a day after, one sincere question can change everything. What did you enjoy most? That single question becomes a private playbook. It teaches you exactly what creates comfort, what supports circulation, and what builds confidence for this person you care about. Keep those notes. They are gold. It's worth zooming out for a moment to see how the whole system works. Intimate wellness sits on 4 pillars: safety, circulation, relaxation, and communication. Safety is the foundation, consent and boundaries. Circulation is the fuel, a relaxed, warm body with good blood flow. Relaxation is the gateway, a nervous system that trusts what's happening. Communication is the steering wheel, tiny adjustments that keep you both in the lane. If you support those 4, everything else improves. If you ignore them, nothing fancy will compensate for the loss. This is why midlife couples often make dramatic gains with small changes: an unhurried warm-up, a better environment, a clear yes-no language, and an agreement that no one needs to pretend. The body reads this new climate quickly. It exhales, it softens, it receives. You might be wondering how to apply all of this without turning a tender moment into a checklist. The key is to pre-decide your standards before you're in the moment. Decide that you will always ask. Decide that you will always slow down first. Decide that you will prioritize cleanliness and comfort. Decide that you will notice breath and posture. Decide that you will accept no with grace. When these become non-negotiables, you don't need to think about them. They live in your posture and your tone. They become the invisible framework that makes closeness feel natural rather than orchestrated. Let's make this even more practical with a simple, human sequence you can carry in your mind without any explicit details. Begin by arriving as a calm person, not a hurried one. Put your phone away. Breathe out a little longer than you breathe in. This settles the body. Make the space comfortable, warm, clean, gentle light, fresh air. Ask permission with clarity and listen for a wholehearted yes. If the answer is no or not now, you stay close emotionally without pressing. If the answer is yes, keep things unhurried. Let warmth spread to the whole body, so the focus area is not the only place receiving attention. Check in with short questions. If at any point you sense tension or hesitation, pause. Offer water. Smile. Stay kind. Finish with softness. Offer comfort, not commentary. Later, ask what they liked most and remember it. There are a few myths worth dismantling because they create silent frustration. The first myth says the only goal is a specific response. That turns a shared moment into a pass-fail test. Replace that with a better goal. Leave the person more relaxed, more valued, more comfortable in their skin than when you began. If that goal is met, the long-term outcomes you care about tend to improve naturally. The second myth says if you ask, you ruin the mood. In truth, asking is the mood. Clear invitations are attractive because they signal confidence and care. The third myth says consistency is boring. Bodies love consistency. Nervous systems love predictability. Once the foundation is safe and steady, play can flourish, but it flourishes because the base is strong, not because you chase novelty as a substitute for listening. Age deserves its own mention here, not as a limitation, but as context. In midlife and beyond, the body often asks for more gentleness at the beginning and more steadiness throughout. That is not a downgrade. It's wisdom. Steady attention invites deeper relaxation, and deeper relaxation supports better blood flow. If you treat these shifts as an invitation to refine your care rather than as a problem to solve, intimacy often becomes richer, not poorer. The story that it's all downhill is a lie. The truth is that it's different, and different can be deeply satisfying when you adopt the right mindset. Let's talk about confidence, because it's the quiet engine behind everything. Confidence is not loud. It's not about knowing you're perfect. It's about knowing you will pay attention and adapt. It's the kind of grounded calm that says, I am here to care, not to prove. People feel that. They lean into it. If you've felt shaky in the past, maybe you rushed, maybe you forgot to ask, maybe you copied something that didn't fit, let today be the reset. Confidence is built by keeping small promises. Promise to ask. Promise to go slower. Promise to clean up first. Promise to check in. Keep those 4 promises and your confidence will rise because your results will change. Communication outside the bedroom matters just as much. Many couples only talk about intimacy when something goes wrong. Flip that pattern. Have a light, positive conversation when you're out on a walk or sharing coffee. Ask, what helps you feel most comfortable? And listen without defending yourself. Share what helps you relax too. Decide together on your short signals for more, less, pause, and stop. Keep it simple. When you make this part of everyday life, the stakes fall. In the moment, you're not inventing a system under pressure. You're using one you both chose. There's a wellness angle here that often gets missed. General habits set the stage. Hydration, regular movement, and steady sleep play real roles in intimate comfort. A 10-minute walk after meals supports blood sugar and circulation, which supports energy and warmth. Gentle strength, work twice a week, helps posture and joint comfort, which makes positioning easier and more sustainable. A consistent sleep schedule calms stress chemistry, so the body isn't bracing when you want it to open. None of these habits are glamorous, but all of them are intimacy positive because they reduce friction, literal and metaphorical, when you're together. If you carry worry about body image, name it kindly with your partner in a non-intimate moment. Shame thrives in silence and dies in the light. When 2 people agree to meet each other as they are, without comparison or performance pressure, the body gets to participate without an audience in its head. That is when presence becomes possible. And presence is the real secret people try to replace with techniques. Sometimes, a partner may hesitate not because of you, but because of past experiences, stress at work, fatigue, or a body that needs medical attention unrelated to your connection. Hold space for that without taking it personally. Offer to focus on closeness that asks less of the body that day. Cuddling, a shoulder massage, a warm bath, a quiet movie with feet tangled together. Intimacy is a spectrum, not a single act. When you honor the whole spectrum, the moments you're aiming for tend to return with more ease. Let's review the 5 corrections one more time in plain language so they live in your muscles, not just your mind. Always ask and calibrate. Consent is the beginning of comfort. Slow the pace and widen the lens. The whole body needs to feel invited. Clean up and set the space. Environment speaks louder than technique. Learn the person in front of you, copy nothing, observe everything. Retire the scoreboard, show up to care, not to pass a test. If you hold these 5, you are already better than most advice on the internet because you are treating intimacy as health, not as performance. When you finish, finish gently. Keep your touch soft for a few moments as the body unwinds. Offer water. Offer warmth. Offer quiet. Later, in a neutral moment, ask what they liked most. Then remember it. That is your private living guide. Over time, these conversations build a library, of what truly supports this person you love. That library is far more valuable than any list of tricks. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to reset your approach, this is it. You don't need new gadgets. You don't need a different body. You need respect, patience, cleanliness, observation, and kindness. These are choices, and they are available tonight. The irony is that once you adopt them, the responses you wanted from the beginning often arrive. Not because you forced them, but because you stopped forcing anything at all. Before you go down on her, fix these 5 mistakes by becoming the kind of partner who asks, who listens, who slows down, who prepares, and who treats closeness like care. When you do that, intimacy stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like home. And when it feels like home, the body trusts you enough to meet you there. If this message helped you see intimacy differently, share it with someone who could use a gentler, wiser map. And if you want more on vitality, circulation, and confidence in midlife, always explained with clarity and respect, stay close. Your best years of connection are not behind you. They are in the choices you make tonight.